Dear friends, it's day 869 of the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the Russian bot farm utilizing AI to spread misinformation in the US has been shut down by the American officials in cooperation with the cybersecurity forces of the Netherlands and Canada. According to the US Justice Department, nearly 8,000 fake accounts pretending to be Americans were powered by the AI to spread pro-Russian propaganda and misinformation in the social networks, mainly Twitter, of course. The whole structure was supervised by the deputy chief of the Russian propagandist channel Russia Today. It was stated that producing fake accounts was some of the most time-consuming tasks in frames of the Russian informational war against the West, but utilizing AI to automate content creation makes it much easier for the Russian cyber terrorists. To make it possible, the affiliates of the Russian propagandists at Russia Today use software known as Meliorator to create fake online accounts representing various nationalities. The Russian software is capable of mass creating authentic-looking fake internet people, deploying content that mimics typical publications in the social media, and mirroring disinformation of other fake accounts. You can find the link to the full report in the description. What are the messages typically disseminated by fake AI-powered bots? Basically, you can imagine the full scope of the false narratives justifying the Russian aggression against the democratic world. But what's interesting here specifically is that majority of fake accounts were posting on behalf of American citizens with alternative point of view. Of course, the main message is Russia is not the enemy, which is probably the most popular bullshit nowadays. They say that Putin knows the ultimate truth, that he's the god, Russia is a peaceful country, and you with your silly democracy and freedoms were all brainwashed by Soros and greedy American government. The US and Russia should work together to bring peace to the universe, Ukrainians must be wiped out, and things like that. Don't fight against Russia, be their friend, collaborate. Narratives implemented here were designed not only to confuse American users, not only to create doubt within the US, but also to sow discord between the US and the European countries, especially after the Russian war against Ukraine was recognized as genocide by the European Parliament. The gap between the US and Europe will grow eventually as a result of the Russian informational warfare. Of course, it will take months, but this is exactly the main goal for the Russian cyber terrorists, especially now when the democratic world should stand united like never before. Why do we even have such problems nowadays? Guys, it's not because free people are most vulnerable to the misinformation, unlike people in Russia, for example, where they only have state propaganda, zero independent media, and zero freedom of speech. It's not because we have broader access to the information. The only reason is because today, in the 21st century, the Russian terrorists use information as a weapon against us. It's not why, it's who. And today, instead of fighting the Russian terrorism together, we're spending time discussing whether Russians are a threat or not. Meanwhile, the Russian cyber forces are working hard to destroy your countries from within, utilizing modern technologies such as AI, not to solve global problems, not to make education more accessible, not to find alternative energy or solve the food crisis, but to fight wars against democratic society in the cyberspace, sow discord between the countries and inside of those countries using fake bots. This is what the Russian terrorists do every single day, while people keep discussing if the Russian regime is bad. Tonight on the stream we will discuss some of the latest bullshit in the social media, and yes, I'm talking about Vivisection, my friends, our new educational show designed to analyze pro-Russian propaganda. Also, we will talk about the overall strategy utilized by the Russian regime, since we often talk about tactics and narratives, forgetting about the global picture. With that, my friends, I wish you all a beautiful day. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.